expect to see lobbies like this. It's a testament to how good the players are here today, that even these big names can still have to climb back up. Let us get into our final lobby of the day. So many amazing names, so many amazing plays to come.
And Lelouch, of course, not sitting too high on today's performances. Had a rough couple of games, didn't break top 4 until his 4th game of the day. But coming off of the EMEA Championship, he should be feeling good. And hopefully his mental is still intact.
I mean, this lobby, if you look at it again, it's amazing. We have Dongo, we have Brix, we have Tamura, we have Soju, we have Fritz, we have Juan. Yeah, so many superstar level players all packed in one lobby. I'm pretty sure that there will be a lot of compositions that we can look forward to, and I'm pretty sure there'll be a very unique variance for each player's playstyle.
All right, we'll keep a close eye on how things progress. So guys, I think this is a good time here at the end of day number 1 to reflect. Coming into this final game, what are the lessons you want to bring forward to bring front and center for our viewers here in our final, well, halfway through our group stage?
Japan's really good.
Surprisingly good.
Wow. Yeah. Nice to know.
Coming out of those performances from title, still up there in the top 2 spots on the leaderboard. Absolutely incredible performance coming into this day. I think what I want everyone to take away is that the global disparity is smaller than it has ever been region to region.
I mean, one of the starts that I love most in this set right now is either a Lagoon start or a Shimmer skill start. And as you can see, most of the players are trying to lean towards that. They're buying these Gnostices for the Shimmer skill chance potential. They're buying these Zax, Malphites for chance to start with Lagoons for the extra economy to win the game.
Yeah, and of course, it was mentioned, the Pirates' Greed on hand for Mirage, so we have got kind of 2.5 ways to econ through the game. We'll have to keep an eye out for what that Shimmer Skull item ends up being, as we will be seeing low-powered augments to start off our final round.
I mean, oh yeah, silver augments! Yeah. Look, the lobby's really exciting. I was hoping for something to amp it up to 11.
Well, this is what our players want, isn't it? They want to be able to... It's true. Down to pure skill.
True.
There's no prismatics. There's no excuses. Only the very best players with nothing left to go.
Yeah, this is the big skull TFT, giant brains coming out here. This is professional TFT.
Professional.
None of this prismatic stuff that everyone's so far on about.
All right, if you look at Tamura's board at the moment, he also tried to go for the same thing. He tried to go for an eco like a Lagoon star, but only managed to find an Israel 2-star. It seems he doesn't want to level, so he can actually get his 1-cost 2 stars upgrade first to have a safe, clean direction.
Yeah.
So, Matt, if you're in a situation, you're up against some of the very, very best players, including, of course, Soju, who many underrated coming into the this kind of sphere of competition. Based on what we've seen so far, are you trying and beat out these players for the top 1, or are you settling for a top 4?
I think at this point it depends. I mean, it depends entirely on your placement, right? Depends on how stressed you want to be tomorrow. Because mental aspect of competitive games is often underrated. But if you know tomorrow, okay, I need to get at least 3 top 3 finishes, you're going to be driving yourself insane. Versus if you want to take the gamble today, last game of the day, and say, all right, if I take a first here, I can relax a little bit tomorrow, and the added stress of it being the knockout day might not matter as much.
Of course, we've got the headhunting aspect of this game as well. Dongo, as mentioned, Huawei are both in here with 15 points. Any of our players who can take them down in this lobby, reduce the gap they have to close up on in day 2.
Right now, I'm mostly excited about this player right here, Juan Mie. This is his 4th consecutive World Championships in a row, and I've seen this guy play since set 5. He gets insanely better after each set, and the guy practices so much, I actually have to give him my respect. He is actually one of the best players that I've ever seen.
I mean, how does that even happen? When you've got a country as populous as China is, to be able to just do that, it defies all odds and expectations.
Genuinely one of the best TFT players in the world right now and previously as well. So keeping on top of his skill, growing as the skill of the player base grows, means he's very likely going to have a spot in these championships for a while still.
I do want to shout out to Brazil as well too, because I do have high expectations for Brazil, starting from like this Worlds. I believe that they have a very strong gaming infrastructure, and Fritz and Slooper are the representatives for that particular sense, right? Oh wait, correction, Fritz is from Argentina.
Latin America, or Latin America or Argentina.
I said nothing. I said nothing.
Don't worry,
you got one of them.
Yeah, it's honestly, I just consider everywhere Argentina.
Whoops,
we're doing a little bit of country swapping.
I'll go to Honam, sorry.
And on our screen now, we're going to see Brix, winning out the LCQ, his performance in the EMEA finals was absolutely fantastic. But the third day just didn't meet the performance we expected from him. LCQ's changed that, though.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, you know, Bricks said to us the reason that his performance suffered was he was intimidated by the competition. This lobby, with this many known names, this does seem like a recipe for Bricks to potentially run into the same problem. If you don't think you are good enough to beat your opposition, then how can you even manage it?
If you weren't intimidated before, you sure are now. So hopefully that's something that he's been able to crush. And a lot of times, again, people don't consider the mental aspect of TFT. They're like, it's all strategy. And it's like, yeah, but your brain is your brain. Stress affects you no matter what. It's not like, oh, this part of my brain's stressed, but the decision-making part is just going great.
All right, now if you look at the HP composition, this lobby, you have 3 people at 100 HP, so there are 3 people that are going so very strong. There are 2 people below 70, so there are 2 people going for very strong loss streak, while 3 other people right in the middle. So this is actually looking to be a very normal lobby where there are some win streakers, some loss streakers, and some people that just go up and down and up and down.
And then we'll probably end up, I think, you know, because we come from the EMEA side of things, we're definitely going to be talking more about the EMEA players, because we've got that depth of knowledge about them. From Brick's side of things, though, we knew that they were characterized by not only just playing strong, but generally playing strong for a really long time in any lobby, keeping that win streak going, and then turning it potentially into a first.
Yeah, and looking at this direction here, is rocking that Olaf in the front line, letting him get those deaths while using Kaisa as a temporary item carrier. I'm not sure if he's going to be going into Olaf or if he's going to do the Bricks classic, Grave Seraphine.
Now, this is a very good example of what high tier like players really want in their compositions. They want Lagoon for Econ, or if you look at this bench, he has a volley at the far right, He wants to get that Shimmer skill chance, he wants to get that like a Lagoon chance, scale up, get all that money, then decide to go for 4 cost 3-star or 5 cost 2-star to finish game.
All right, tomorrow representing Oceania has got themselves a pretty solid board. Of course, we've seen this many times before. Ezreal certainly coming in, you know, much as we saw the Wukong before, even though he broke our hearts. We see the Ezreal coming in and being an absolutely excellent item holder, who's certainly able to take down more than a few units before falling, and perhaps even, of course, win some rounds.
Yeah, not seen him used as that reroll carry just yet, maybe later. And in the meantime, Bricks is going to preserve his win streak going into 1 round off that PvE round. If he's able to do that, his economy is going to be in incredible shape.
I mean, look at this lobby. This lobby not only has superstars, but 3 players are burning at the moment. Please meet each other. How long is this going to go?
Well, it's worth bearing in mind, you know, as you said, we've got the 3 win-streaking players. Bricks is only on 7 points right now, if I read my maths correctly, so they've got a lot to gain here. For Dongil, they're already on 15 points. They can afford to take a less strong lobby, but right now they're building up the almost insurance for day 2 that they're going to be making top 8.
I mean, I said Hwan Mie was a fantastic player. Like, look, he's going for that 1 cost 3-star comp.
Oh,
a legendary
that's how you know.
Sejuani 3-star carry. This guy knows what's what.
Oh boy, I can sense a Dragonlands spatula coming in the future. I really hope so. Up against Dongil, let's see how they do. It's going to be a big pile of ball riders.
And this is going to decide who streaks into that PvE round. Brick's obviously going to have a better time as he didn't roll into one of the other 100 streakers. And Hwan Mie looks like he's in a good position coming out of this one. But it's going to be Swift Shot versus Swift Shot, and only time will tell. Once we get out of here, we'll have 2 people 100 streaking.
Now, this is the difference between a player that leveled up and a player that decided not to level up. Hwan Mie took the safe route and said, hey, I'm not going to get Dongul. No. There's like 2 other people that I can get, and they're much more weak than I am, so I'm not going to bother risking my gold. If I use all my gold and lose, I'm at like a 4 gold anyways. I don't have any interest gold, so that's going to mess up my situation. So I'm going to take the weaker choice. This is just like a chicken game at this point.
All right, we can take a quick glance around what people are bringing out as their main units here. We can see, of course, we've actually got 3 Ezreals in the top 4.
Wow.
2 Astrals as well, both loose streaking, so that's a good sign. That's what you do with Astrals. Otherwise, I'd be a little concerned if they were running other compositions, as Good Day and Fritz both going to be using those economic engines to get through the early game. Unclear if either of them are going to stick to it, though.
I mean, have you seen any other region that goes for 1 cost 3 stars like this? Good Day, our fine Korean player, going for the Astrals, of course.
Baby, talk to me here, you know. As Matt was saying, we seem like we've got a lot, you know, of course, the quality of the players here is absurd. We've got so many strategies which seem to be going according to plan here. We've got a decent amount of money in the mix across nearly everybody, apart from Bricks. You know, If everyone's plan is going as it should be, what does this mean for the game overall?
This means that the game is actually going to feel a lot of strong compositions. We're going to see a lot of level 9 players, or we're going to see a lot of insane, high-value compositions. And Nidalee, 3-star. Let's go. Rapid-fire cannons at the ready. We got Z-Star the Scar for the extra like attack speed as well, too. And I am currently liking a Good Day spot, although I do not like the fact that he could not finish his reroll in time. You should always finish your reroll before the fight starts.
Always finish a reroll before you deserve. Fritz, though, they've got a pretty solid setup of their own. They've also got their Nidalee of their own, which makes it all the more impressive that Good Day managed to get that as their 3-star.
Yeah, Fritz is not going to be concerned about losing here. Already on a full loss streak, Good Day has decided this is where his streak has to end. But Fritz, sitting on 40+ gold, is going to be fine, keeping that economy going. Doesn't seem particularly committed to the Astral reroll, unlike Good Day, who went all in for it.
Again, just a reminder for anyone who's coming in late. In terms of the overall competition, Donga and Hwamei, they are the 2 players on 15 points with the best chance of coming into day 2 with an almost unassailable position. Let's get our augments down, though, because we've got ourselves a few more placements to get decided.
Now, after this, I hope that we can see Dongul's board again, because right now, Dongul is currently at stage 3 to level 7.
Easy peasy.
He actually brought the old Korean, like a hyper tempo strat. This is a strategy that focuses on maintaining your win streak no matter what. This will make sure that you guarantee your win streak. This will make sure that your opponents will have less HP. This will also allow you to get a lot of high value units, 4-cost units, that Zippy, maybe a random 5-cost unit. You never know. And I am actually very proud of Dongul for going with this strat.
It's not looking great, though, to be honest. Got the Pirates Gold for economy, which is maybe why he feels he can afford to go for this. But still, mostly 1-star units on that board, so that strength is going to go down very quickly.
Yeah, Donga really needs to keep this win streak going because they've got nothing in the bank and they've got augments, which do suggest a very, very strong endgame. We will be seeing it Bricks up against Donga. It will be win streak versus win streak. Only one of them walks away with the money. They've been spending like crazy to try and stay on top.
And it looks like Bricks is having a much better time, uncontested in the back line, but the massive front line coming out here from Dongul. Level 7, not quite enough.
And this is actually what a hyper tempo strat looks like. Look, you're just barely away from winning your opponent's right. This loss was actually, this one actually would not happen if he did not invest in the fight whatsoever at all, right? So this is actually one of the very powerful strengths that you can get from a hyper tempo strat. Just enough to win the fight, 17-year streak.
The Dong remains the one on top, completely undefeated so far. We'll have to find out if they can get the way through. We have got a few interesting augments emerging, though.
Yeah, we see Good Day going for Protector of the Cosmos. Did hit a 3-star Skarner. I feel very bad for Pete because he was watching me try and mime that charades style.
I was trying to figure out what you were doing.
I leaned over and did the crab hands.
I was like, is Urgot in this set?
No, not yet. Maybe we can hope for it. We can ask for it. Mid-set for set 8. We're asking for it. Fritz coming in here with this board, though, fully itemized that Volibear as an item holder, running into Soju, who also hasn't been having a great time HP-wise.
I mean, I'm really, really amazed at how Fritz was able to manage his economy, because currently he's at level 7. He's level 7 at stage 3-4, but unlike Dongul, he's at full 50 interest with a full streak going on as well, too. So he will be able to hit his composition really fast. Most likely going to be a COU Siphon composition for sure.
Yeah, I do love seeing the Black Cleaver in the mix. Does an absolute work. Of course, something we haven't necessarily been seeing a ton of, but we were seeing more at the regional stage. The Volibear item carrier can do a ton of work.
This would be a great loss for Fritz. Yeah, fantastic.
Wow,
Only
beautiful.
1 unit left on the board.
Look
on
at that loss
massive
streak.
Yeah, 8 rounds.
I mean, if you have an economy this much, he actually might be able to greed all the way to level 8 for a safer like a roll down for his like a 4-cost carries, or he can just like all in at 7 and just go really, really, really monster mode in this lobby.
I mean, Fritz certainly a lot of ground to make up with. Went second in the first lobby with a Siphon comp, but since then it's been 6 in a row. Certainly Fritz can get the strong finish here. They'll be absolutely loving it. We're checking in with our components. We can see most of our players have been committing in early, but I do notice we've got a little bit of a surplus of needlessly large rods.
Yeah, a lot of AP items still left unslammed, and I'm looking at Bricks there, and I'm seeing a rod open, I'm seeing a belt open, and I'm thinking what items are really good for Seraphine Graves, and I'm just considering.
You're trying to put the pieces together to make the jigsaw of destiny.
It's a puzzle, and I will solve it. And there's going to be the Morel and Omicron slammed there onto a Seraphine, but I'm not sure if that's where it's going to stay.
Now, right now, Brix needs to decide exactly what composition he wants to go for. Does he really want to force Grey Seraphine with only like 30 gold at level 6?
I mean, but he's got the cybernetic uplink and better together. It feels like he's just full committed.
Since there are no other 2-cost 3-stars in lobby, I guess it would be much more better to go for like a Grey Seraphine as a gamble, but I'm not sure if he has enough money to make that happen.
I mean, at least Brix for the time being can just, coast along. I mean, they've got the HP to be able to cash some of that, some of their life into gold and push them further. There's no win streak, of course, so they are relying on their banked gold. Soju, with a pretty solid setup here. You can see the Kaiser is getting a little overloaded when it comes to the amount of targets. Once she starts getting pushed on, she splits her damage so heavily.
Gonna be able to take out at least one of them, but she herself will fall. Brix taking another loss, still at 40 gold, but something I want to circle back to. We all remember when Brix was on that mighty 100 streak. Losing there with only 20 gold left, and frankly, a not particularly strong board, means that Brix, despite his HP lead, is pretty far behind the lobby in terms of board power and tempo because of that loss to Dongul a couple of rounds ago.
I do actually want to look at Soju's board at the moment because his board seemed actually very, very awkward to see him. He has a Zeeks, he has a Cleaver, and he does have 2 Thieves Gauntlets, but that's no direction. He doesn't really have a direction to go for any composition in the game at the moment. At best, maybe he can hope to get a Graves, but that Ord itemization isn't really that perfect for Graves because Graves comps already run Whispers anyway, so I don't think he can make a comp with this setup.
Yeah, we'll definitely be keeping our eyes out very closely for Soju to see how they end up working things out. As I said, an awkward setup, but it seems like it might be just about good enough. The Black Cleaver, of course, will tear through all the defenses, amping up the rest of the damage. The Morellos will take a while to kick through down to the last unit, but Soju gets the win.
That's going to be a 3 streak going into the Wolves as well. Pretty decent economy. As we see, Tomorrow has already hit level 7 with that itemized Deja off the back. So I think he's going to be having a really fun stage 4.
Right now we're looking at, we're looking at Fritz's board at the moment, and wow, there's a guy with a Deja 2-star, and this guy has...
that sure is a board.
Pantheon, Shiou, Siphon, 2-star.
Yeah. Where have we seen this one before?
Oh, this guy's going 9.
Bebe, do you remember when you were like, oh gosh, Fritz is on such a terrible loss streak, he's going to have to turn this one around soon?
Wow.
I think this qualifies.
Wow. That is correct. Fritz actually also has really decent itemization for composition as well, too. And, whoa. That's a Bard.
All right.
Yep, easy peasy.
He's having a great time.
That's a Bard and a Protector's Veil, for sure.
So, I mean, we've been pretty impressed by what we've been seeing from the Jade Siphon board. I mean, with the kind of current setup we've got here, how do you guys feel about its ability to push above expectations, to go from a top 4 comp to, again, be a top 1 or even top 2 or even a top 1 comp?
I've been surprised by how strong Siphon has been coming into this competition. I think it does a really good job of increasing the tempo of the lobby, especially when you have 2 stars all by 4-1, because he's going to be able to just absolutely crush some of these boards. And I think if he's able to do that, get that Soraka and Bard in to stall for his carries, he could turn this into a top 1. It just matters how many people go down before they cap their comps.
I mean, it's also an issue of like a timing. Like if you just find your carries like this at this point, you can just chill, save your kill, go full 50 gold. You just go save that, go 9, add in Bard and Soraka, and that's just it. That's just first or second.
How is Dongul still streaking?
That is the Korean hyper tempo, super tempo strat. I'm proud of that strat.
1 cost, 3-star. We're going to see the augments coming out here, filling out for everyone. Good day over there on the bottom of the leaderboard. Going for Thrill of the Hunt, but without a damage item on this Lux, he's going to be in trouble. So have my eyes on the rest of the board for the moment.
And it will be silver, gold, and gold. So no prismatics, no excuses. Like Ross, as we said at the beginning of the game, this is the environment our players love to work in.
Recon 3?
What?
All right.
Huh. Okay.
Well, that's something a little bit different.
Oh, so that's what you went for.
Well, you know, baby, when we did that segment earlier today, I didn't think to ask you if we should ever go for Recon 3, but Brix, expert of Grave Seraphine, seems to feel so.
Okay. Brix wants it, then why not?
Brix wants it, who am I to deny it? You know?
But the problem with Brix's comp right now is that he doesn't really have a Gracie, so he's kind of forced to use Kaisa as a damage carry, but I feel like once he finds Graves or any Cannoneer, it's just better to move to Zeri until you get the upgrades.
We'll see what they do. As I said, it does feel like the Kai's item carrier has maybe passed, though, and maybe made a liar very quickly as well. We do see what happens against the backline composition. All far from Kaiser gets focused, and then she gets onto the backline and murders everybody.
The Zyra ult was incredible timing there for Brix, able to stall out for his Kai'Sa to finish them off. With Gadget Expert in the back with that Shiv for Zeri as well. Really good combo. As we go over to Good Day's board, Astral reroll not doing so hot.
Now this is what we call a how do we say it? Disaster. He has no He has no itemizations for his frontline, no tank itemizations. He has no itemizations for his backline, no damage itemizations. He has one random Zeeks, and Zeeks is not useful at all. The Shojins that was supposed to be on Lux 3-star is on Virus because he couldn't find a Lux 3-star. This is something that commonly occurs in national comps if you fail to find your upgrades fast, and if you fail to find Lux or Virus 3-star. It just dies off.
I'm definitely not a fan of the two Varai in the mix here. Nice. And just a single Lux from the backside with the Giant Slayer trying to do enough damage. First bearing in mind, of course, Good Day from Korea, the regional champion, has not managed to hit a top 4 as of yet, I believe. It's going back through, 7th, 5th, 7th, and 8th. It's not been a good day for them at all.
No, that day continues to get worse, contrary to their name, as we see Soju finishing up that board. Bebe, you were like, I don't know where this goes. Turns out, as all roads do, Grave Seraphine.
If all goes wrong, just go for Grave Seraphine.
Exactly.
You're always home.
Now, the reason why Good Day's comp isn't also working is mostly because of items like Mace Pad. If he had itemizations like Mace Pad, tank itemization for frontline, then his composition is actually quite nice. But that is quite unfortunate that he didn't have any resources, and he will just die off like this, unfortunately.
Dongle's finally taken a loss as well, down to 86 HP. So that streak that's been defining the game so far is over.
We have got a few items in the mix as well for our players lower down. Fritz, of course, we did catch our attention before, is on a win streak from the bottom, and Tamura from the middle of the table. So perhaps we are starting to see our players who are lower down hitting their spikes and getting to the point where they can put up a real threat.
Pirate Deja composition. We're actually seeing it. Yes. He has the upgrade ready, so if he just finds 2 more Mirages to add in, he can actually start farming itemizations like crazy. It's not that bad.
No, it's one of my favorite ones, just because it's absolutely so bonkers and out there, especially in this situation. At the end of day 1, you need a big win. Let's see if Good Day can survive, though. It's going to be very tight.
It's going to be a rough composition. You're going to want to watch that Varus in the back line. Which one? Well, both of them, as they try and stall out for the Lux. And Zippy will find the wrong target, so Lux has a little bit longer to go. Ezreal from Dongle, though, the lobby leader, uncontested for the time being. Finally, Lux fires off. Will she find a second?
Wow.
Yes, she will.
What a difference it makes to find the items you needed, be able to put together the Infinity Edge and the Dual Gauntlet. This is a Lux who's finally online.
I mean, this is also one of the downsides of Dongle's strategy if you look at his board. His strategy is hyper a tempo strat, so he actually still has a 1-cost 2-star as a main a damage a carry. So it is actually falling off really hard, and he does need to find a cheap composition.
I really like this from Lelouch. He's in a great position. You've got the Infinity Edge, and you may be saying, oh no, Kai'Sa 3 with only 1 item. But there's Blue Battery 1, there's Jeweled Lotus as well. Effectively, already a 3-item Kai'Sa. You've got the needlessly big gem right there on her as well. So this is a very stacked board with a lot of room to grow.
We know every opponent Good Day goes up against could be their executioner. You look above them on the scoreboard, it's a long way to go for Good Day to try and get out of the situation where they're so close to getting a thrown bodily out and having their chances more or less end. The Lux is casting. Of course, this is one of the comps that will struggle. We haven't got any healing coming in for the Kai'Sa at all. We're just waiting for the hammer to fall. The first ult doesn't do it, the second one doesn't do it either.
Close one. No healing onto the Kai'Sa, so she cannot go for an infinite a sustainability for sure. But now, what? Manazane.
I would take it. That's fine. Gets off multiple ultimates in a very short succession. But maybe Lelouch wants something a little bit more aggressive.
We saw from that last round how the rounds did run pretty long. Certainly, the Manazani would absolutely get off to the races faster.
Yeah.
Will be the one chosen. Really interesting. I really wonder what Lelouch's late game is going to look like.
I mean, I really love this choice because not only does it save him a lot of money from rerolling, it gives him a Rabadons for Kai'Sa. He can keep the needlessly large gem. He has the Manazane for the short burst. He has an IE, a Jeweled Gauntlet combo with his augments. I think he can just save up economy and just go for a high value composition.
Well, based on what we've seen from Lelouch, we'll keep an eye on how things develop, but we do need to pay attention to the rest of the lobby. Of course, we have got players who have been hitting absolutely out of the park. Huami on 24 points right now, doing astoundingly well.
Yeah, 36 HP, but got a hell of a board to back it up. Giant Slayer, Guild, Xayah, plus a Swift Shot emblem for the Hecarim in the back. This is the composition you want if you're going for this Guild Xayah. Only thing you're going to be missing is that Shyvana.
Once Shyvana is found, Hwang Mie is actually going to be in a good spot because Xayah compositions aren't really that weak, but oh, the opponent, Tamura. The Pirate Deja Itis player also looking very strong as well too. How will this fight go?
Yeah, no fourth item in there for Deja, courtesy of our friends from the Mirage, but at least that's a good amount of firepower. We'll miss Xayah on the first ones, we're allowing her to stack up the damage. We'll keep checking around though, because of course Good Day is still very close to elimination. They've run out of road, and it's gonna be a swift 8th.
Nice try, Good Day, nice try.
Korea's no good, very bad day happening now.
Oh boy.
That's going to be in 8th place for the Korean champion. And Tamura is going to put out a lot of damage. So this composition we talked about earlier with this Deja, with that Pirate vertical Mirage, if all goes well, is actually having a great time.
Now, we see Tamura rerolling, but what is he looking for at this point? Maybe like a Jace 2? Oh, a Jace 2 star.
Strips the Yasuo.
Yeah, apparently it's not going to be a Mirage 6 or 8. Our dreams will have to wait for another day.
I mean, I just don't see what direction he can go for after this because, you know, like, this is it. If he doesn't go for Mirages, if he doesn't go for value, then this is the end of his composition, and I don't know if that's going to be good enough for first place.
Yeah, I mean, there's no money in the bank really to make that kind of change up against Soju, or at least the ghost of Soju. We'll see how well that Manazeni, and of course the Rabadons you mentioned, a huge power spike for our friend Kai'Sa, who's going to be casting again and again. The mana pumped in me, she just keeps stacking up the early damage.
She's just going to be able to do so much damage to the front line, even with Itis, but Ascension will finally pop, coming off that needlessly big gem, but I fear it's too little too late.
Daya is trying really, really hard to take down the enemies, but a clean triple kill right there, saving HP. Ah, it hurts. But he did do his job by saving Tamura a bit of HP so he can maybe raise his placements a bit by bit.
I want to point out as well, take a look at Fritz. Lost streaked all the way down to 40 HP. Can someone read out for me the HP value he currently has?
40?
Yeah, so he's been able to maintain that win streak since we saw him catch those 2-star core units. We see even now a Death's Dance plus Edge of Night for that Xiaoyu fully itemized Siphon with a Zeke's on the Pantheon. This board is incredible.
That is a lot of beef for the front line, a lot of damage up against Tamura, who's another player who's just like Fritz, trying to climb and claw the way up, but Fritz's win streak is obscene. 9 rounds in a row. At least Deja will not be directly aggressed on for a little while.
I mean, I'm really surprised how well these players are all in all these lobbies so far with the COU and Siphon compositions. Usually, this composition does not do this well, but the players are just adjusting it. So, oh wait, never mind, they're losing.
Well, so this is the problem we've had.
Okay, wrong compliment.
You go back to set 7, you say, don't worry, Siphon will just kill anything in the back line. Very much not the case here. Tomorrow's had the chance to stack up, and even with the Death Defiance, it's still too much damage to handle.
Take a look at the health totals as well. We are getting closer to the end of the game than you might think. This lobby is incredibly tight and clustered in health totals, 18 to 40 across 6 remaining players.
I mean, we are looking at the players, and number 1 right now is Dongul with 40 HP, but that's actually not true. He's actually much lower than that, because since he used his Hyper Tempo strat, he is guaranteed a top 6 placement with this HP lead for the mid-game, but his composition will be much significantly weaker than other players in lobbies.
Again, just a quick reminder of where our players stand this game. Hwame with 24 points after getting the first before with a Yone reroll composition. Donga just behind with 23 and Soju with 21. Tamura on 20 And we've got 19, 15 below that, and 9. We've got an incredibly tight set of players here heading into day number 2. This could be such a big difference in just this lobby.
Soju is literally right outside of that top 8 positioning. North America's homegrown champion apparently lives very close to me. I just found out on desk when, when Dan introed him. But also adopted by Oceania, according to Asa.
He's a popular guy, what can I say?
A lot of hearts on the line here for Soju. Has built this incredibly powerful Graves composition that looks like it's going to make pretty quick work of Tamura's board here, as you can see the Graves just firing away through the front line.
Yeah, baby, of course, we talked about that Black Cleaver before, shredding through the defenses, makes it incredibly hard to do anything to stop this Graves from just murdering everyone you love.
I'm really enjoying exactly how good of a composition Soju managed to make. The IE and the Edge Knight on the Graves, we got the Zeeks on the Zeri, and we have so many carries. We have Pantheon as carry, AP Pantheon as carry, and we got AP Lee Sin as a carry as well too, which is very decent. He's also making a good use out of Yasuo. That's something that many people can't do.
Zach 3-star just came out here for Lelouch. Top of the health boards now, coming off the back of a win. But this is where his composition is going to cap out. Just 6 gold left, 4 experience above level 8. Not much more for him to do.
All right, so Tamura, along with Soju, down in the 10s or teens, will be going up against Dongo, who is currently second on the scoreboard. We are seeing the gap start to narrow considerably. Look at that Deja itemization on each side, though. That's a lot of healing, a lot of punch, and of course, we know it's a crit strike as well from Dong.
Watch that wave come out. Not enough to tear through the front line, but significant damage to the back. Needlessly big gem activates. You can see those shields start to slimmer down a little bit, but this Deja is really struggling while Tamura's is just kind of hanging out and chilling.
I mean, if you like Dongo's board, he has 4 crits, he has 3 hand justices. This guy is not making any other itemizations but HHA.
No, but it's going to be very just.
I mean, give the guy a hand. He's doing everything he can. Dongo will take the L, though, as we start again. Much as with the overall standings, we're seeing it very tight. You know, in this lobby from our top 6 remaining players, there is barely a hair between them.
Depending on how bad the loss is, 4 of our players could go out in the very next PvP round.
I mean, this is what happens when you just put a bunch of superstars in one lobby. These guys are not weak. They will not lose without a fight. They're going to do everything they can to win at least one more fight because they know that that is the most important factor in making your placements and winning the game.
And it absolutely can be deceptive because, of course, somebody has to go 8th in every lobby. You know, even when you've got players of this caliber playing in, you know, not everyone can be a winner. You can only determine them in the particular state they came in.
All right, now we're looking at Soju's board here, and is there anything he can do to make himself stronger at this point? I feel like he is strong enough.
I noticed his positioning on the Grey Surfing comp looked a little familiar, like someone taught us just the exact same thing. Would you mind reiterating what we only missed? What's the positioning doing here?
I feel like the most important thing with this aspect is whether Yasuo can get a clean AoE like a strike or not. So he is carefully putting a Yasuo at a point where it will not get focused down and get burst down instantly, but have a good like ult angle to effectively delay the enemy front line.
Huamier versus Lelouch, the Chinese champion, 4 times world contestant versus the leader of EMEA, victor of our regional finals. But Huamier Xayah starts off by ripping through the front, but gets focused. She's down and no more damage to speak of from Huamier's board. And even with the remaining damage to take down the Kai'Sa, it's just not enough. And Huamier will fall.
Oh my gosh, that is a big loss there, being knocked out in the bottom 4. Again, the window flies open for our wrestler competitors, with the top players being a little bit less
Tamura goes down too!
We hear behind us the North American casters screaming and hooting and hollering because their representative has made it to the top 3. Soju has found his tournament footing.
Wow, I can't believe Soju actually made it from that spot because he was in such an unfavored position, but he managed to keep his chill, go for the right itemizations on the right carries, focus on his positioning, and get the lead. That was actually amazing from the North American representative for sure.
And we just did receive notice. I was going to see apparently Fritz just buying a couple of Shyvana, so we'll see how things work out long term. Let's get back into the brawl again. Of course, we've got the big push up from Fritz here. Lelouch with the absolutely massive Kai'Sa When she takes damage, of course, she gets mana. If she does not drop, then she just becomes that much more dangerous.
Xiaoyu doing her best, but just getting destroyed. And it looks like Lelouch's board will take down Fritz's, but he will survive.
What about Soju? Is Soju alive? Can we check?
We're going to find out.
Oh, he
5-8
is
games,
alive!
LW.
There is hope! Will this be the game where he actually makes a comeback and take down Lelouch? I am very excited.
Well, we know Soju is going up against Lelouch, the MEA champion, in the next round. There's no more ducking that fight. This is really tense coming into this one. For Soju, the chance to push further, to survive another round. We don't even know if Fritz will get to see the next round, but I just don't know if Soju can manage it.
I mean, the composition is slightly favored towards Soju because he will have the Mystics, he will have the burst damage, take down the Kaisa, but the issue is Soju has 2 Ionics. He has 2 Ionics, he has 1 a Cleaver, and I feel like the item balance has been in Soju's unfavor. We'll have to see. Let's go.
Watch the Kaisa, watch the Graves. Both of them in the back line. The CC from Yasuo doing a great job to stall with the ultimate
beautiful
from
CC.
the Kaisa. Still coming out regardless. Graves, half health, he's down, and it looks like Lelouch is going to take out North America's champion.
It was so close, but I think the reroll there, getting the extra chalice damage on our friend Kaiser as, oh my gosh, look up in the top left of your screen. That's the dragon that will pierce through the heavens. That is a God Emperor made flesh.
EMEA takes home the lobby, and Lelouch coming in with 15 points, going to be real happy about that one. But of course, nobody else in that final fight is going to be sad. Soju was right on the cusp, and I think with that one, after we do the math, we'll see that he's going to barely eke into that top 8.
My, what an ending. But the sad thing for Soju is that he was at the exact same HP